esta silla.
¿Ya?
Espérate.
¿Vale? Okay, so buenas tardes a todos y
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Telefónica Agora. And thank you for coming here and thank you for attending virtually. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Ana Pardos, a product manager of Industry 4.0. And maybe you wonder why a telecommunication company is in the industrial environment. It's because they want to offer the best communications in the industrial environment. But we also do, we accompany companies for the digital transformation. The digital transformation is very important, mostly in the last year, because all the productive chains are being digitalized with also the maintenance of the different machinery. And also we are flexibilizing the production chains because as clients we are more demanding and we want everything tailor-made and we want things to be delivered very fast. So that's why we use experts in the industrial environment for the predictive maintenance that helps companies to decide when is the best moment to do these maintenance stops and to expand the life cycle of machines. This is why we have Yolanda Gomez, Manager Business Unit of Grupo Álava, and Miguel Bateo, Chief Sales Officer of Grupo Monom, devoted to the predictive maintenance of the Grupo Álava. So thank you very much and welcome. Well, the goal of this session is to give you some ideas about predictive maintenance here and in the future, thanks to the connectivity that we have, the evolution in the data, and in Grupo Álava, we've been working in predictive maintenance for the last 30 years. We were pioneers in these about how companies evolve. So we started working with offline systems many years ago. Now the online monitoring systems, and then in the future with these online monitoring and connectivity, we will work these smart twins and data analysis. And we think that the data is the decision-making process of all companies. This is why the headline of this slide is about intelligent maintenance. And I'd like to stop here because I think that data is the most important thing in the decision-making process of a company. And we've realized this when we've been able to organize this data and release all these business KPI. And the industry, which was asleep in the last years, is starting to get into action. So during this presentation, we are generating all this information, and we believe that all the tons of data that is generated, the important thing is that the biggest percentage should be used to benefit the business. Because nowadays only 3-4% of the information is used for the decision-making process. This is why we say, when we talk to customers, that we talk about the right information, the right people at the right time. And we need to think that Before, we focused on big data, important amounts of data that are dealt with, and we obtain information. This type of management is very interesting in security, in banking, in tourism. Great volumes can give us a statistical analysis, and we can reach some conclusions. In the industry, we need to take a step forward. So maybe it is not that important, the volume of data. The smart data is more important. That's why we need to use the knowledge of the past, the existing knowledge, the physical behavior of the equipment in order to define which data I needed to look for. And this is why our motto is the right information, the smart data. We don't want a lot of data. We want the correct data, critical variables that are combined in order to give us an information about the behavior in the future, not the behavior in the present. And also the alliance we have with Telefónica. What we try in the project is the business case. Everybody works with the business cases, and sometimes the business case does not support this. But little by little, we have new roles in the participation of the decision-making process, and the operations directors, they need more data in order to make decisions. So it's not monitoring everything. We need the active assets in order to make decisions. And also, we want to have a look at the history, and two lines that were separated, the industrial line and the maintenance lines, that were very focused on the critical assets, so that the asset does not stop when it's not convenient, and controlling that I does not have an impact on my results. And also we have the communications. We need the communications to send messages, to talk, but they were not linked with the maintenance, with the industrial efficiency. This has changed in the past because we see that we've been able to build the bridges so that we can work together, and that this industrial efficiency and this maintenance can be reinforced. This 100% efficiency is achieved thanks to communications, these 5G communications that allow us to monitor it on real time. Yes, a few years ago, we started talking about the Internet of Things. Machines started communicating between them, and this is when the communications and the industry world got together. Thanks to 5G, the data we can transfer and communicate, and the slow latency of 5G allows us to act in whatever machine very fast, as possible. Now we can think about our sector, aeronautics, applied to defense, and before we had terabytes of data, and they could not be transmitted in real time to the base. We could not monitor the behavior of the plane online and on real time. But now we can do that. We can do it on real time. And this means that I know how the plane is behaving in a military campaign, and we don't have to wait until the plane goes back to the base. When I was preparing this presentation with Yolanda and Anna, there were some things that put us together. Telefónica was born in 1925 when communications didn't exist almost. So Grupo Alava started in the 70s with predictive maintenance, the hardware and everything they sold, but no technology. So we have these things in common. And if we lasted so long, it's because we are going to last even longer. It's a prediction that we are going to last even longer. And the COVID pandemic has accelerated everything, the platforms, the logistics. And the clear examples are these figures you can see in this slide. So it's not only that the machines break and we go to a smart maintenance. We are talking about safety in plants, in the factories, and these people need to reduce the deaths and the casualties, the cement factories, the steel factories, and this helps also in to the healthcare system. And it's not only thinking about communication of the predictive maintenance and health and safety, but also we can do a follow-up of the routes of people, helping them so that it's an optimal route, exoescalate, so that can be communicated and help us to control how someone is leaving or solving the problems in the factory. And also defense. We have the soldier of the future communicated with the control area with sensors, and we know how they are and how they are feeling. And also not everything is predictive maintenance. So we have studied the maintenance maturity model, and we see that in the beginning we did regressive maintenance. So this part is broken, so I'm going to substitute the part. If I don't have to part, then I have to wait. If a washing machine breaks at home, I have to wait for the technician to call me and tell me that he already has this spare part. And then we can move to the reactive maintenance, ready in case of breakdown. I have this spare part I can use in case there is a breakdown. And this doesn't mean I will have to stop the production. And then we move forward to the prescriptive maintenance. I can eliminate repetitive failures and have an accurate maintenance. And if the machine is working, then this predictive maintenance can be used for some things, but not for everything. And then we go to the asset management, which is the maintenance optimization, depending on the status of the machine. So where are we in the industrial sector? Well, we can find from reactive maintenance to smart data platform, but most of the industrial sector here in Spain is between preventive and prescriptive. So there is still a long way to go, and it is very positive because it is the way to differentiate ourselves. And in order to position ourselves, so we can do an asset management, which is a goal at the short term. It should be a goal for all the industry. And then the interesting step would be the smart data platform with artificial intelligence and multi-technology and digital twins. And the smart data platform, our industrial platform, has been the cloud. Cloud has enabled everything, and it is our training activity. We don't want to sell our product, but when you see the cases of Airbnb, Spotify, Alibaba, Uber, they are all platforms. They don't have the assets they are selling. This means that in the end, companies as Volkswagen, the CEO of Volkswagen said that the important thing is not the car, but the data that the car generates in order to create a different experience to the customer. So we want to put the platform and the data in the middle of the platform so that an auto company or a company with 200 factories all over the world can democratize this information depending on the person who is watching it. And they will be able to find alarms and images that can be treated as data. Artificial vision is something we didn't talk about, but vision artificial is here to stay. For example, in food and beverage sectors, for quality, it's basic. And as I said, data is in the middle, in the center of the decision-making process. So in the platform that we have created in Grupo Álava and Monom specifically, we want to democratize this information so that it can be used in the decision-making process. So from maintenance, looking for spare parts, then a predictive maintenance based on a statistical data and the past experience of the past in maintenance. So we are taking another step forward, the predictive maintenance with a CMS system inside the company. And we want to go towards a smart industry in which all this information coexists. So it's not only the data. You also need to have a platform to integrate data related to predictive maintenance, how my process is, and the quality of the products I am selling using vision, for example, or other typologies of systems. And all this data has to be in a platform and has to coexist and give us a global vision of how my factory is. And depending on the level of information you have access to the behavior of the machines, because I am the responsible of person of the maintenance, or the behavior, or the results of the pieces, the results of the quality, and then I can use all this data. I can generate the algorithms that will allow me to anticipate some failures, root analysis, why the spare parts are not giving me a good result, why the machines are stopping, why am I not achieving this 100% efficiency. This is what we are trying to do, Grupo Álava and Telefónica. And also what you said about latency and real time. It's very important for the decision-making process because people don't want to wait. To work in real time and to connect data of all solutions that are being used in a factory or in a port, for example. And in the same platform, it's going to give an added value to the data and a better efficiency to the production methods of the industry. Well, so we think that that was all. And but if you have any questions, we are here. You can find our LinkedIn and you can use any platform. Well, I have a couple of questions, and the first one is the industrial market nowadays, in which digitalization stage you would say it is? Well, it depends on the field. There are some fields that are taking very important steps, and some sectors that are more efficient. We see it on the TV. Factories from all over the world trying to establish plants. The engines should be manufactured in Spain, implementing actions related to the smart industry, and also everything related to predictive maintenance or guaranteeing the quality. Other fields are more delayed as not the energy, maybe the oil and gas sector is taking steps forward, though. I think it depends on the person. It depends on the president and the CEO of the companies. There are some sectors that are more advanced, the electric sector, but also it depends on the people who lead the transformation in a company. And apart from the people who make decisions, in order to make this analysis of data for the predictive maintenance, not all the machines are optimal in order to be analyzed, I guess. Yeah, well, it depends on the cost. It's what Miguel said, a return on the investment. And not long ago, the cost was very important when you had to install sensors. So we were just analyzing the most important things. Now the sensors are more affordable, like the one we have in the demo, plug and play. You don't need an installation. It's a sensor which is, as I said, more affordable. And this means that we are not only focusing on the predictive maintenance, we are also doing a maintenance of all the machines of the company. It's the return on the investment. Well, if there are no more questions, thank you very much for being here, your participation in this Mobile World Congress, unusual one. Thank you.